started making names right away. And I loved it. I was robbing drug dealers and taking their gold right off their neck. And the shit we did, who's going to call the police on you? A drug dealer?
I could identify with anything that was normal, to be honest with you. But I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah.
99% of the time, you're going to disappear.
Just like the Donnie Brasco situation with Lefty.
Yeah, because the reason why, they figure it this way. You brought this guy around, he ratted on everybody, now he ratted on you. You might turn around and join him and rat on us, so we get rid of you, there's no connection between there and there, and they get rid of you.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I have the last episode of Tim Reed, the guy who is immune to snake venom, and it's a pretty incredible story. Go check it out. I'm going to be dropping it for you in 1 minute. Bruno, what's up? I just want to give a couple shout outs to some people who have been helping me along the way. There's a lot of people out there, but there's a bunch of people who has been instrumental at the momentum I'm moving in, and I just want to thank you. Randy Marshall, shout out to you. Jason Reinhardt, shout out to you. And everybody who has been on the Chat with Stack show, I really appreciate you. And I'm here to bring you some entertainment. So without any further ado, if you're afraid of snakes, I suggest you leave the room. So here we go. What's up, Italian sausage? How are you? Well, you're about to see this crazy cobra biting this dude. So let's get into this video, shall we?
And the latter worked out pretty well.
It could have killed you easily, man.
Oh, yeah.
Any one of those times, possibly. You think?
Well, especially when I relived those experiences years later, which I filmed Black Mamba bites and taipan bites back to back. And that's how I met my boss at Cenovex, who I work for. He saw the video on Barcroft TV where I did black bite, taipan bite within like 2 minutes, back to back, pop. And the reason I did that is to prove my immunity and to go back to realize that, hey, you can get bit twice. I just screwed up. I know what I did wrong. I had to neutralize that in my head and just figure it out. And then ever since then, done that many times.
That was the video that I seen. Right? Yeah. And if it's okay with him, I'll put a clip of it in this video somewhere.
Oh yeah,
him. I mean, he owns the rights for it. So, I mean,
yeah. However you want to do that, that's fine. I don't know how that works.
Incorporate whatever you want. I could put pictures, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So that was pretty intense.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
And then a lot of people through the years ask why did I get bit so many times? Because I'm lazy or don't have a protocol. No, it's not the point. The point is to prove I'm immune. I have nothing against people that handle it safely. What's that?
How many times have you been bit?
200. 700 injections over the last 18 years-ish, 17 and a half years. It's longer than that. I got bitten in 19 too by some stuff, but I just never put it down on paper because I retired from it. But
wow, man.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. Wow.
It is crazy. But the more I did it, the more comfortable I was with it. And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from people that want to do it safely with tubing devices and hooks and gloves. That's fine. You can still have dangerous snakes and enjoy them. But that wasn't going to solve the problem for me. Can I become immune? Can I make a difference with antivenom? Can I make a difference in humanity? I was only one person at the time, but I was reaching out to a lot of people, including Nobel winners who were like my stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like, I don't even have a degree and I'm talking to a Nobel winner. Oh.
Yeah, Nobel Peace Prize winners.
Well, in medicine, actually.
That's incredible, man.
I just reached out to everybody, senators, White House, every doctor in the world, minus Antarctica, every continent in the world, saying, I'm immune. What can we do with this? You know, and 90% of it's rejection. You know, screw you, it doesn't work. It costs too much money, which it does.
You're crazy.
Crazy. You got a death wish. And I'm like, no, because people don't understand self-experimentation in medical history. There's a lot of Nobel winners in there. They just use their own body to figure stuff out. Dr. Marshall, Nobel winner in medicine, was one of them. And that's who I got to know, got to meet. So it's just, you're using your own body to figure stuff out. You're not using a mouse or a rat, because they're not going to respond back with good results. They're either going to live or die, but they're not going to know how it feels. Now, as a human, I can get bit and take notes, take pictures. You know, here's how it is, you know, very detailed stuff. So I think that's very important. You know, I'm not promoting anybody to do this because it's too dangerous. I'm not a doctor. You can take one injection, you do your math wrong, you're done. So I don't help anybody do it. If there is a vaccine in the field in the future, then that's up to the job of clinicians, doctors that are going to take care of that. So,
have you ever been around anyone that was bitten by a snake and they're not immune to it, and you're like, what, like, you know, like have you had any situations where people around you were bitten?
A couple, but not because of my snakes, because I was very careful about that. I know a lot of people that have been bitten that watched me get bitten, not die, and they got bitten, went to the hospital, and all over the world. I mean, from Australia to Asia to Africa to South America. And if they did what I did, they wouldn't die or have to go to the hospital. You know, it's kind of my point.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, because let's say you're in a tribe somewhere and the leader of the tribe that hunts gets bitten and dies. It doesn't just affect the one individual. It affects the whole tribe. Now, nobody can hunt. Maybe nobody can fish. Economically, it affects everything.
Yeah, it's the person who is the peacemaker in the group, and now things are disarray because that person's gone.
You know, or the cook, the lady that cooks or makes clothes. I mean, it affects the whole community, the whole tribe. It's not just one person gone. I mean, it can devastate a whole village. You know, so those are important things to take into consideration too. Another thing to take into consideration too is, even if you're immune like I am, you still have to get, once our antivenom's made, knock on wood, you still have to get to the antivenom. You can easily die because you don't have a cell phone, you don't have a car, you don't have transportation. You have to get there. So,
or you pass out, or you're in the lab and you pass out, and you're like, "What happened?" Right? And it's too late.
Yeah,
like
anything. So they have to have proper clothes, proper shoes, a clean house, no holes in the house, no garbage around the house, sleep on a cot, sleep in a tent. So those are really basic things that a lot of people are working on before you get to the anti-venom, because you're not going to get there if those things aren't solved, because this stuff can take you out 15, 20 minutes for an adult, maybe 5, 10 for a kid. So you're an hour away from the hospital where the antivenom is, you're not even going to get there. No. Doesn't matter how good it is. Now, if you're immune like I am, big deal. I go about my business, but that's where it gets real foggy.
You get bit, you just keep working. You know, if someone else gets bit, they just drop.
Pretty much. I haven't missed a day of work in my entire life, minus one vacation day with all those bites. Now, granted, there's a lot of long-ass days of not being able to feel my, hands, arms, or mega pain, which aspirin doesn't touch. Vicodin doesn't touch it. There's no drugs that touch it. The pain is so intense that you just drink water, ride it out. It's the best way to do it. Plus, you don't want to get hooked on drugs every time you're bit.
The human body is incredible, the things that it can endure.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
It's powerful. And so is the mind, not just physically, but the mind is a powerful thing to neutralize what it's like in the middle of nowhere to get bit by a black or a taipan or a cobra or a rattlesnake and just blow it off.
You got some big cojones, my friend.
I'm just stupid. I don't know.
Trust me. If I'm in a fight or something, I definitely want you on my side, man.
I'm no UFC fighter.
People will be like, I'm not fighting the anti-snake venom guy.
Well, they can knock me out in a heartbeat. There's no immunity getting hit by that.
Oh, man. So, have you written any books? Do you have any books, or what do you got going on in the future, man?
Oh, God, the future. I did write a little 32-page book for Japan when they went to Africa for me on it. Never published it. My website took a crap, and then took me a year to do it. Didn't go anywhere. Yeah, as far as what we're doing now, it's full-time lab work. A lot of lab work. We did 2 conferences last year, one in Arizona at Venom Week, and then the lab went out to Vermont to do the Gordon conference. Those are big conferences, by the way. Hopefully 2 publications come out this year. So we're really trying to take it to the next level, the very highest level you can get to with it. And more publications, more conferences. My entire job is just mapping this whole thing out, which is it's a full-time job, basically. Going through my books and my literature and mapping out where we need antibodies and where we don't need them and what we're going to do. And it's a big project. That's why not a lot of people have done it. It's a big, big, big project.
I'm sure it's a lot of work, man. It's tedious. It's just like editing for me, man. It's a lot,
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
I can imagine the things you have to know and get to learn. It's like a new process for me, because I used to be on the streets, in and out of prison. I was like a lost soul. And I finally found something that completes me, basically.
Well, that's what you want to do in life. You want to find out things that make you happy, regardless of what happened in the past.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can change a lot of lives by doing that too, actually.
Yeah. I try. I volunteer in my town. I try to show people who are struggling that they can do it too. I was homeless. I was on drugs. I was addicted to alcohol, drugs. And I recovered from that, and I'm moving in a positive direction, man.
That's awesome, dude. You're going to save more lives than I am.
Hey, man, we could both save lives together,
It's a competition now.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I can imagine how many lives you saved over the years. Yeah, I'm sure your research has saved lives.
Yeah, it saved lives in the sense that, well, in the future when the antivenom's out there, because that's based on my blood, so that's going to save lives.
Yeah, and that's a legacy. Is your name attached to that type of stuff?
I didn't ask.
You should have.
Yeah, the lab takes really good care of me. I have
Tim syrup or something.
Yeah. They did mention it. And I'm like, that's up to you guys in the lab. I don't like titles. I don't like accolades. I don't like anything like that. I just do it for me. And, if I'm part of it, which I am, that's what makes me happy. I don't need to have Tim Friede on the vial of antivenom.
No.
It
is yours. Either way, it doesn't have to have your name on it. It is yours.
And the company does a lot too. Cenovax, the scientists that put the last 5 years of work into this. I mean, all their names should be on it, because they really pulled a lot of weight in the lab, on a high-end lab, not a basic little dumb lab like I have here, but I never asked.
Collective thing, right?
It's a collective group of scientists that have a lot of passion, that are really smart. I mean, a lot of these guys and gals, you have PhDs from Harvard and Stanford. I mean, they're very smart individuals. And I just take great pride that I can work with them. Being a non-degree individual, it's hard to do. I have to read a lot to hang with them, but yeah, I love to read. I love to study. That's what I do. And I enjoy it because you have to really know what you're doing. You don't just do it all willy-nilly and jump in there and grab a needle and guess what? Here's how it goes. I mean,
yeah, it could kill you like this, man.
Oh yeah, it could. So I take it very serious, more so now than ever, even though I'm not doing it. Now my job is just to study. Before that was to get bit. And with that, I'm not studying. But without that, now I can study harder and focus on all these things I'm working on here, for 15, 18 hours a day if I have to, and get a lot more done. That's a lot more important because people know that I'm immune. That's why I filmed it. How many times
you have the footage. You have the footage that you can study that. You can break it down. There's a lot you can go over.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing right now with the documentary we're filming. We've been filming for 2 years, actually, based on me and based on the stuff the lab is doing. And they're going to use all my old footage. Most of the ones that you've seen, they're going to use that just for the safety so I don't die. It kills the whole project. They can use old footage. And mesh that in there, but
it's incredible, man. It really is. When people see this video, they're not going to believe it. They really are.
Yeah, it used to actually bother me when people didn't believe me, and then I'm like, you know what? That's what science is. They don't believe you. There's a lot of naysayers. I've had every threat you can possibly imagine.
I get those too. If you do this show, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. Yeah.
I'm still doing the show.
So am I.
Yeah.
So I just pushed forward, and I took a lot of that negativity and trying to turn it into, okay, I understand why you don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't like arguing. I don't go on social media and argue. I just try to produce. And if you don't like it, not my problem. But, I've just done so much with it. You just can't deny it. I mean,
yeah.
So I pretty much put him in a corner. And, and when I went to Venom Week in Arizona, it was really weird because a lot of the people that disagree with me were there. So I went in their backyard, literally at a conference with over 100 scientists, and spoke on stage. And that was cool. Shook their hand, no hard feelings, water under the bridge. And it's amazing the reactions you see on some of these people that called you this, called you that. But when you look right in their eyes and in their face, you're a pin drop.
Yeah, because it's different, man. It's real life, and it's really not like that. Like, we're all people. You get to have your opinion. It's called freedom of speech, and I'm never gonna stop telling stories. If you're a public figure and you're out there, you're getting talked about.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So
it's a good way of going about it. Excellent way of going about it.
You can't win them all, man.
But if you win a couple, that's better than zero.
Yeah. 100 penny. Wait, four. No, it's a different analogy. Four quarters are better than 100 pennies. That's what they said. Damn, I had to ask you one more question. Oh, have you ever had any of them venomous snakes escape out of the cages and you can't find it?
Oh, I was hoping you didn't ask me that. Only one time when I had a lab way back when something got out, but my room was bomb-proof. It was fully nothing to get out of there, not even a mosquito. So I ended up finding that, but all my cages are locked, lock and key.
Yeah.
Doors locked. I mean, everything I've ever had is pretty much bomb-proof to where you're not going to get in. I'm the only person that has a key. You have to be careful with that.
I've heard people of using rattlesnakes as weapons.
As far as the venom?
No, they send people rattlesnakes.
Oh.
Open the box and they get bit. I've heard all kinds of crazy shit, man.
Yeah, I have a couple of those shipments waiting to go out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I got to get a couple too, man. We'll talk after.
Yeah. I'll be out of snakes in no time.
Yeah, man. Shit, I have one more for you. Damn, man, totally forgot.
No, but it's pretty cool to come to the end of the goal. I wasn't sure how long I was going to do it for.
Don't tempt fate, though. Don't do it until it works. You know?
Yeah, I'd still be doing it if the lab never picked up on my stuff with that video. I'd still be pushing. Because it kind of bothers me that so many people die every year and I don't. So it was my responsibility not just to get bit, but take it to a lab or take it to get published or take it to get funding or take it somewhere where we can make a difference.
Yeah.
So I talk to people all over the world, mainly India, Africa, on once it's done, how are we going to figure this out? Here it is. What are we going to do? Do we drone it in and drop it? Do we have medical facilities set up in certain areas? Can people get there? I'm talking to a beautiful lady in Tanzania. Not just beautiful, I mean, mentally beautiful, just an amazing woman. And she lives in Tanzania. And hopefully we can work with that because they all have cell phones. They have pretty good transportation. So it's a pretty good spot to start. Once it's out there, okay, here it is. Now, how are they going to get there? And I don't know because I'm not there. So it's up to them to figure out how we're going to get this person to here. And the cool thing is, if it's a universal antivenom, which we hope it is, but you're not going to, it doesn't matter what snake bit you. If it works on all snakes, you don't need to know what kind of cobra, what kind of mamba.
Oh yeah, because if you get bit by a snake, you either got to bring the snake with you and show them what snake you got bit by, or you got to know what kind of snake. What if the snake bites you and just goes away? You don't have any clue what kind it is.
Exactly. That's a huge problem. You get bit and just blink your eyes. You don't know what it is. And the chances to go back and catch the snake to get bit again, is that worth it? Probably not. So once you're bit and you do start having symptoms, like your eyes closed, ptosis, neurotoxicity wise, or you start to swell up. Well, with the universal antivenom, it won't matter because you're just going to get it. And hopefully our antibodies are powerful enough to recognize those things. That's our goal, which would be huge. We don't have to worry about what kind of snake it was.
If someone gets bit, do you suggest that they put a tourniquet on it? Like, what's the protocol if you get bit by a rattlesnake or whatever out there?
Rattlesnake, no. Black mamba, anything that's neurotoxic, yes. The reason I say yes is when you wrap that ace bandage around with stuff that's really neurotoxic, it consolidates all those toxins right there so it can't hit their target sites. That'll buy time to get to the hospital, to get a drip, an IV drip, and as soon as that starts, then you can release that. No, but if you do that with rattlesnakes or anything that's necrotic, it's going to make it worse. It's going to start eating apart even faster and faster and faster. So those are the two ways to think about that.
What about the cutting it when across and sucking the poison out?
No, because when you cut your skin, you're going to cut nerves, number one. Number two, you're going to waste time. Time is tissue. So you want to get to the hospital as fast as you can. If you sit there and you're cutting and sucking, the venom's already in the system. You're not going to get anything out of it.
What if you just try to suck it out of your skin?
That's the way they used to do it, but it didn't work. And it makes sense if you think about it. You want to get it out, but if you have like really big fangs that go in really deep, you're not going to get a lot out of it.
No.
You could be dead before you're done sucking and have to get to the hospital. So that stuff's not advised anymore. What is
having that in your mouth? Like having that in your mouth is probably not good either, right?
That doesn't matter.
No?
As long as you don't have an oral ulcer or a gastric ulcer, the venom cannot enter your system. You can swallow venom. It doesn't do anything unless you have a gastric ulcer. It doesn't do anything.
It has to come in contact with open blood, basically.
Yes. It has to come into contact with an open wound, blood, and that's how it's activated. So, yeah, if you swallow, it's no big deal, but, if it's injected.
I did not know that. Not know that.
Yep. And your stomach acids are going to neutralize a lot of that too.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that doesn't work. And that's the problem you have is in the old world, you have a lot of these witch doctors or healers, medical healers that just, you know, grab a black rock, wipe it on you, jump up and down, do a dance.
Yeah.
No disrespect to their culture, but you're going to die. No way around it. And they do. They're wasting time doing that versus getting to the hospital. And they've been doing it for thousands and thousands of years. So to change their minds is a hard thing to do.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to change. It's in their culture, probably. Like,
exactly. If I went there and got bit, I don't know, they'd probably think I'm some kind of a god. And it's like, no, here's how you do it.
Yeah.
But they don't understand science. You know?
Probably would, man. Well, man, I want to thank you for coming on my show. I really appreciate you taking the time. This was really eye-opening and educational. I think a lot of people will learn a lot of things from this episode.
No, I hope so. And I'll keep you up to date in our publications. I'll give you our latest one, which I have. It's not in any magazines yet. It's a pre-archive print, but it maps out exactly what we did and exactly what we talked about.
Thank you, man. All right, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. It's been a pleasure having you on my show. You're welcome back anytime. And you want to give anyone a shout out before we go?
Just Cenovax.com. That's our all our facts are, and that's I don't have a website or my Facebook, Tim Friede on Facebook or Twitter. Other than that, I don't do too much social media. It takes up too much of my time, and I can't read that way, so I steer away from it. But
hey, man, it's great stuff, and I think people are really going to enjoy this one. But I'm going to have you back on. It's going to be incredible. So if you guys like this interview, there's a lot more to come. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Till next time. Thanks, man.
peace.
What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great night. So a lot of things coming in the future. Things that I never thought possible. You guys will see. I've been working really hard. I got a lot of things that I'm going to be dropping. So thank you all for watching. Nick, what's up? What's up, everybody? Maureen, how are you? Randy, what's up, bro? JL, how are you? Bruno, what's up, man? Shout out to everyone out there. I appreciate you. And if you guys like this kind of content, there's a lot more to come. Expand your mind. It's going to be good. So hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Till next time. Peace.